guys, it's Rhiannon. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video today, please give it a big thumbs up. Please do not use kitchen scissors, your kids' scissors. Don't use anything other than actual hair cutting shears. It's definitely worth investing in a pair of shears. You don't need the most expensive, but that makes the biggest difference on how your hair is going to turn out. Sorry, if I look above you, I'm going to be looking in the mirror. My stylist mirror is behind me. So, depending on how thick you want your bangs. My hair is pretty thin, so I don't like too thick of a bang. So you want to start, I would say part your hair down the middle. Real cute, just like this. Okay. So, and like I said, I do have somewhat of a bang before. So you want to start with the triangle section. So just kind of take this, go from the middle. I'm going to tilt my head down a little so you can see. Go from the middle and just do kind of like a diagonal parting. And see how that gave me like a diagonal line right there. So I'm going to clip that out of the way just for the second. Now you want to take right here where this corner is from this top diagonal section and do your best to go down and do the same thing on the other side. So, see how that gave us a triangle? So that actually seems like a little too thick for me. So I'm going to take some of that away. Yep, and that gets rid of those long pieces, which are more part of my fringe, so I don't want to cut any more of those off. Let's go. Take some, same thing on the other side. So see how we have that triangle and we got rid of that extra. Okay, so let me see. And it's better to start with less hair because we can always add more, but once you cut too much off your bangs, that's a nightmare. So we're just going to take a little more of this away. Yep, and see, because I don't want all those long pieces. So just keep going back and forth like we started off that diagonal sectioning. Okay, so let me see. So that's pretty even, and that looks like that's going to be a decent amount of fringe. Like I said, we can always add more, but we can't make our hair grow back magically. So, and this is all just kind of baby hairs up in here. So let's start with this. Let me see. So see this piece over here. This is a little off. You want to get as clean of a section. There we go. So this looks like the perfect amount to start with. So you want to clip the rest of your hair out of your face. Now I'm going to spray my bangs down with some water just because I don't like to start dry. But if this is your first time, I would recommend starting dry. That way where you cut is where it's going to lay. But you know, I'm kind of used to accounting for how much your hair is going to shrink up. Okay, so first, you don't want to just go in and cut this whole section. So I'm going to take my clip and kind of cut it in half, just straight across. That gave us a pretty clean line. So now that we have this section ready to go, I'm just going to spray it down a bit more. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to take it right about the corner of my eye. You can see that. Okay, so let me just come in close so you can see what I'm doing a little better. So you want to take your shears and hold them vertically. And we're going to point cut. So, I can't tell if I look cross-eyed or not. And what that's doing, we don't want to just, if you want a more blunt bang, go in and just, you can just go straight across. But I don't like that. I like more of a textured bang. So we're just going to go in and point cut and see how that gives you just like the uneven. So let's see about where these are falling. Still pretty long. I'm going for more of a short fringe today. And that's totally up to you. Just remember, if you are cutting with it wet, they will shrink up a bit when you dry. So it's better to leave them longer and go in at the end. So I'm just going to go back in a little more. And get this little long piece over here. So, alright, that's looking much better. Make sure we don't have any long, get these long corners over here. Okay. Next, we're going to let down this other section of our bangs that we had clipped out. And so now you can see there's our guide right there. So you want to cut the long pieces to match your guide, the shorter pieces, which we already cut. Okay, let's see. So next, what I like to do, I take them, let me scooch down just so you can see this. I take them straight up and see how we have, let me pull this so you can see a little bit more. This is all a little uneven, so I'm going to nip, let me come back here, nip the long pieces. Let this down. And that'll kind of layer them a little bit. I'm going to blow dry them and then finish texturizing. Okay, so let's say you're like, these are still a little too blunt. I want them more texturized. No problem. So we're going to go back in now that they're dry. We're going to point cut some more. Now, with just shears and no thinning shears, no razor, that's about as good as you can get. I want to clip half my bangs back up. Drop my comb again. Okay, so we're going to start with them. I'm going to go in and I'm just going to point cut with my thinning shears right on the ends. Okay, and I don't know if you can see how that just kind of like textured the ends so they're not quite so heavy. You're going to do the same with this section down here that we are bringing down, that we sectioned off. Okay. Much better. So, now what I'm going to do, I want to flat iron them before we cut any more off and see what we think. So, while it's down, you can kind of pull and see if they're even. So this one's a smidge longer, so I'm going to go with my razor. I'm just going to twist. Also, this adds a little more texture. Just take little pieces, twist them down to the end, like this, and gently, very gently, feather the ends with your razor. Okay, so let me come in closer. Sorry, super close and personal. Just gently on the ends. And you'll be able to see how piecey this is the more that we dry it. Okay, so that's looking good so far. This piece looks like it's my calyx, so it looks a little long. So I'm just going to go in and just kind of smooth those down. Make sure any calyx you have. And I just do like a gentle little turn on the ends, just to kind of puff them up a little out of your face. You're going to let down this other section. Flat iron those two. Actually, I'm going to go in with my razor a little. So I'm just going to twist this into one big section and then go with my razor. So like I'm literally only taking that tiny bit of hair off. But it does make a big difference, but you can really do some damage with the razor if you just go in and start cutting off all your hair, so be careful. Alright, so after this, I like to go and see how everything's laying. Now we have a little long piece over here. So I like to go with my razor for this. And actually I think that's falling from the rest of my hair. Okay, so this piece is still just a smidge long. So we're gonna go in. Just keep texturizing. And I like to make sure that they'll look good if I wear them down and if I want to wear them to the side. So I think these are looking pretty good. I like to be able to flip them to both sides too, just because I always like to wear my hair to both sides. So as you can see, they're laying good to this side, the other side, in the middle. So that's always a good sign that you've done a good job too. So honestly, I can't decide if I want them a tiny bit shorter. You know what? I'm going to do it just a smidge shorter. So what I'm going to do, get this long piece out of the way. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to take my comb like this. I just want to get like the very, and when you do this yourself, you'll be able to see a little better when you like hold it up what has to go. Okay, we're going to go in with our thinning shears. Alright, so to me, that's perfect because chances are I'm going to wear them more to the side than anything. So after this, you want to let the rest of your hair down. That way you can get a better picture. So see how they're ended up really see how they ended up really textured and jagged? And that's how I like them. So that's what the razor and with the thinning shears will do for you. So you just want to kind of look, fluff them, see what you like, and then just keep repeating the steps. If you want to go shorter, add more texture, and like I said, if you want them more blunt, then just go more straight across. I would point cut just a little, just because that way they're not too blunt, but for me, this is perfect. So if you have any questions, comment down below, and if you cut your own bangs, let me know how they turn out and how this worked for you.